Welcome everybody to the No Name podcast. I finally got my way. I want to introduce Will to my right. Could be your left. Could be down. I don't know where he's going to be at on the screen. Got Jared with us, and we also have Daniel making a rare appearance because he keeps demanding he gets paid to be on here. I don't know how he agreed on this one to come back on, but we do appreciate you, Daniel, and thank you.
So am I getting paid?
No, no, absolutely
Oh,
not.
all right.
None of
I
us are
know it's
getting
been a
paid.
few weeks since we made an episode. I was kind of being a prima donna about our podcast. I didn't like the name, as I kind of you know, vented on previous episodes. I think we're going to rebrand it. Right now, we're no name. We're just going to run with it, and hopefully next week we decide on a name. We want something a little catchier. Um, I wanted more money. Will wasn't willing to budge on that, and without getting into too many specifics, we just said, "Fuck it, let's go back on and make another episode." So here we are. I do want to say,
Wait,
Will,
let me interrupt. I basically got railroaded and said that I was being cut out of the podcast, and unless I bent knee to Joey and his demands,
yeah, I was pretty much
and
Trump, and he was Iran. Although
yeah,
I feel like he still
yeah,
won because the Strait of Hormuz is still closed.
that's true. Yeah, basically,
Yeah,
that's a great. Yeah, so basically, like Joey feels like he won, but
I
I
do.
still control the straight.
See,
So
and what Will
that's a great analogy, Joey.
You
Will
can shut
won't
this
tell
bitch
you.
down anytime you want.
Will has stated on other episodes that I rarely say I'm sorry, if at all. What he fails to tell you is that he is just like me. We are. It is amazing with the position of me being a foreman or superintendent and him being under me that we have kept our relationship as long as we have. And Will, I just want to tell you because when me and Jared were messing around last week, like figuring out if we are gonna do our own thing or whether I was gonna be a good man and call you, is I'm gonna say what I said last week, and I love you. I don't know of anybody that like with the work and the hostility and all the day in and day out that goes into our jobs. How I could have as good of a friend as you, and so I hope you know that I love you. So
Yeah, I appreciate that. I love you, buddy. You mean a lot to me. And for those who don't remember, or maybe just tuning in now, Joey was the best man, or he was the officiator of my wedding. So we go back. We've had our fights and our battles, but that's something that goes with close friendship sometimes, right?
yeah, and I think like I was telling Will before we got on here is a lot of podcasts that I watch. You know, the good ones that the ones that I value as really good ones. There's transparency. You know, there's no bullshit, and so we could have came on here and said, "Oh yeah, we each took a vacation, whatever. We didn't film for a few weeks." But you know, if it ever came out later, like it's not what we want to represent, and so you know, we try to be honest as much as we can. Obviously, if I come down with syphilis tonight, I might not mention that next weekend, but so you know, maybe we won't be truthful about everything.
That'd be
But
great content, honestly.
it
If you
would be.
come
I
up with
probably would.
syphilis,
Yeah, I
yeah,
probably would mention it, but
like that's where your genitals fall off, right?
yeah,
Eventually,
I
like late
well,
stage.
it's the one that's gotta you take a pill, I think, right? Or, I don't know if
I
it's a
think
pill.
it's easily curable, but like back in the day when they didn't have a cure for it, your genitals fall off. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. But now I think it's easily treatable,
that'd be a
which is
shitty way to go.
yeah. Well, yeah.
Um, so let's swing it over to Jared with all that said. He said he's got some breaking news out of North Dakota. I don't. Is there such a thing as breaking news out of North Dakota? Well, let's check it out.
North Dakota is
Um,
basically the hub of that part of the United States. Really, right?
yeah.
It's like yeah, it's the central position of North Dakota if you think about it. Yeah.
So this story, it happened. They found out on Monday, and it's some shit you see like on TV, like TV shows or movies. But
Okay.
this lady, she unalived her baby 45 years ago.
Thank you for using YouTube safe language.
Yeah, I was
Appreciate
about to
it.
say.
She did what?
Yep.
I missed that part.
Unalive
Unalived.
What does
her baby.
unalive
Unalive.
mean?
Uh,
She's not
wow.
alive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She
So YouTube has an algorithm, right, Joey, where you can't say like words that start with M and end with erder. So like you got to say
Oh, we
things
can say
like
she killed her
unalive.
baby. Like she killed her baby.
No,
Like,
no, you can't.
You're not supposed to say that on
Do we
YouTube.
have to censor
What
Joey
are we
now?
gonna get
Not-
demonetized?
Well, yes, which we're not
We're not.
monetized anyways,
Yeah.
but it doesn't help our goal of being monetized. Probably.
You know, it's these type of rules that are gonna drive me for not wanting to do this. Like, okay, anyways.
Well,
continue,
you're
Jared. Okay,
fair.
so she
fair.
unalived her baby.
Yes.
That to me is dumb, but okay.
Okay.
Go ahead.
No,
So
it's dumb. It's dumb to all of us.
So the cops found the baby in a plastic bag with the
Unalive.
umbilical cord still attached,
Oh, this is a fresh
Suffoc-
baby then.
suffocated. Yeah, and this was 45 years ago,
Oh,
So
40.
it's like-
Oh,
like 1981.
yeah. No.
So she's been living her life this 45 years.
Wait, can I guess? Can I guess real quick? Let me guess.
What's that?
Get what's there to
Here's
guess?
the twist. Here's the twist. The baby's 45 years old. The baby survived.
no.
What the?
No.
All right, go ahead. Thought I had it.
What
I-
Benjamin Button?
I actually just watched this on one of the crimes. Go ahead, Jared. But I actually just watched this on I have a thing that where I watch crime shows. It's kind of my guilty pleasure, and I actually saw this lady, and I know exactly what you're talking about.
But yeah, with the advanced technology nowadays, they were able to track the DNA 45 years later back
Yep.
to this lady, and now she's being charged with murder. You know,
Yeah.
and it's crazy. Like she's gone this 45 years, has 3 kids, grandkids,
Yep.
and you gotta be thinking she's been looking over her shoulder this whole time, right? Like, when am I gonna get caught? But yeah, I don't know. It's weird. It's wild.
Was that North Dakota?
Yeah. Well, she lived
Okay.
in Arizona,
Oh, okay.
but it happened in North Dakota.
I mean,
No, it's crazy.
maybe.
Yeah, I literally heard that. I didn't realize that was so recent, but I just watched a story on that, and it's pretty crazy.
Maybe the baby came out as a stillborn. Can we verify that she unalived?
They
her
verified the baby was alive at the time.
Oh.
And
Yeah,
was-
because they
was
can find
suffocated.
out exactly.
It
They can
was
find out if it's suffocated. Yeah.
Yeah.
baby? I don't know. That was
And-
45 years ago. I don't think the technology was up to par. But
Well, she
Well, no,
she
they found
eventually
the-
admitted to it.
They
Yeah.
found the baby within months of her doing it, or weeks, or whatever.
is she wealthy?
I don't think so.
I wonder if I
No.
can marry her.
She's just a normal
jail,
person.
And then
Yeah,
when she
she'll
passes
be in
away, I
prison.
get all her money.
Well, she's
Wait,
married.
so you said that they found the baby like within months of it happening. Does that mean it's taken?
Well,
them, like,
I don't know.
45
Yeah, they didn't
years
track
for
her
the
down.
technology to catch up.
It took that
Yes,
long for the
yes.
DNA. What do they call it? Genealogy technology, or genetic genealogy, or something like that.
Yeah, whatever.
But yeah, it took.
It's
them
a crime.
45
It's a
years.
crime that happened. It's a crime that happened when she was like in college, and they busted her when she was like 53 or something. Is
Yeah.
when they finally had the evidence.
But the case went cold,
find
and then
her.
they just opened the case up, 2-3 years ago, and then they were able to track her down.
Yeah.
Why did
Fucking
they
wild.
reopen it?
How they were able to get the technology they needed for the DNA testing, I guess.
Wow.
And well, see, I was listening. Like, I don't know, man. Like, first of all, what she did was fucked up. But like, I kind of felt bad. Like, you could tell, like, she was like really regretful. I don't know. Like, I felt bad. Like, she had made it like 33 years, 35 years of life after that point, and
Right.
tried to be a good person. But what she did that one day came back to haunt her, and yeah, she's now like a grandma, like Jared said, and she's
I mean,
liable
back
for
then
murder.
she was just some college chick, she probably
Yeah.
a kid, but yeah,
exactly, but she admitted. I mean, she did like once.
she admitted it. Yeah,
Once I think, well, she denied it at first, and once they kind of locked her in and like, hey, we
Right.
know this. Like once they started providing evidence, she just admitted everything. And she's like, so what's gonna happen to me? And they're like, well, we don't know. And then,
right.
sure enough, charged with murder. Yeah, it's crazy.
Wait, so
Well,
how
that's
does
the type of shit-
the statute of limitations? How does that play into this? Like, isn't there like
Well,
a
the
certain-
statute of limitations has to do with if there's a charge committed. The statute of limitations has to do with if there's like if you've been charged, there's a limit on basically on how long you can be charged for that. But if you've never been initially charged with that, then there's no statute of limitations. So if the charge happens years later, there's no statute of limitations.
I think it should just be like a fucking speeding ticket. After 3 years, if you're not caught,
Fuck.
it drops off.
I mean, murder's a pretty big fucking deal, though.
Well, you know,
It's not just a speeding ticket.
Maybe the detectives should try harder.
They call that the dead baby speeding ticket,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
But yeah, that was my story of the week.
Well, way to get us off on a strong positive note.
Yep.
Yeah, jeez.
Yeah.
You guys gonna do like a
Will, you
true
got something?
true crime podcast now, or
That'd be great.
That'd be sweet.
Yeah. But no, there's a whole bunch of podcasts dedicated to that already.
but those are full of like
something?
knowledgeable people, so you guys could be
What are you trying?
like the
are you
idiots
trying to say?
who cover it.
What were you saying, Joey? Joey, you sound a little quiet.
Yeah,
Let
you
me
got
say that
something?
again. Okay.
I don't know. You told me to turn my mic down, so I turned it down.
I didn't
Now
tell
you
you that. That was Andre. That was a social media guy.
Okay.
Wait, let's
hear
no
me or
no
not?
not. Does Joey sound a little quiet to everybody else? And maybe it's I'm just loud.
How's that?
He sounded fine.
Okay.
I think he
I
could
can
be
hear
a
you.
little louder.
What's
Yeah.
that?
I think you
I
could
just
be a
turned
little
my mic
louder.
up, so-
Yeah, I hear Daniel louder than you do, or than I hear you right
Hello?
That's better. now. Okay.
Okay.
So I got quickle. I
Quickle.
have a quickle couple.
That was a quickle.
I have a couple quick topics that I wanted to go over. So first of all, I work at an airport. Well, not directly at the airport, for the airport, but my life is spent walking around a fucking airport, and man, I just noticed myself getting like pissed off. Like there is some certain airport etiquette I think maybe people need to understand. And this isn't like straight airport etiquette, it's just general etiquette. You know, I think it applies in grocery stores and everywhere else. But like for me, working in an airport, I think it rears its ugly head just because airports are so much more populated. But here's the deal, man. You're walking down the airport, you got your terminals, right? Like everybody's walking, you got thousands of people walking back and forth. Don't just fucking stop. Don't be like looking for your gate. Don't walk in a group of 4 wide, right? Where people can't get around you.
People.
Right? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it's like they're 4 wide. They're basically taking up pretty much all the walkway. And the reason that there's two points. One, they're taking up all the walkway. So people are trying to kind of go around them. And then like they'll just stop. Like someone will be dipping in their bag or something, and this all 4 will stop. And you have this big like cluster behind them that's been waiting to try to scoot by.
It's just a fucking wall. Yeah.
It is. It's a wall. Hey, people with kids, like toddlers. Hey, man, like you got to get your kids to walk. I'm so happy they can walk when they're like 3. That's great. They're doing so well. Hey, maybe in the middle of the airport terminal is not the best to go hold their hand and walk with them at 2 miles an hour through the main terminal, right? Like I'm so happy your kid can walk, but you're holding up 400 people behind you when they're trying to get across.
But at the same time, you're getting paid by the hour, right, Will? So I mean, it shouldn't piss you off that much.
No, I'm trying to get my steps in, man.
Oh, just
like I got
general.
steps to make.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I'm not.
That's anywhere.
It's not holding me
though.
back from my job. I just got to get my fucking steppy steps, right?
That's anywhere.
And like, what was that?
That's anywhere though. I mean, I was at Costco this morning, and 'cause
Exactly, that's what I mean.
do
Yeah.
Weekly Costco. I go either Saturday or Sunday. So I go this morning, and we're just gonna call the girl Cynthia because I don't remember her name because then that'd be fucking weird because she was like, I don't know, 3 or 4. But anyways,
What if it really was Cynthia? That'd be fucking
then
wild.
that'd be fucking weird. Yeah, the dad would be like, that motherfucker. So they're like sitting there, and it's the same thing. Like they're holding the baby, dad's holding the baby, trying to push the cart, daughter's standing there, and like
Yeah.
Costco aisles, like we're not down the narrow aisles. Like, we're out in the main drag where you can go fucking 4 or 5 cars wide. I mean, and I'm like going through, and the mom's over looking at clothes, and then their kid just fucking darts across. I almost hit their kid. Like,
Oh,
I would have
shit.
been on fucking murder charges. Oh wait, I mean unalive charges. And so yeah, and then he's like, we'll call her Cynthia. And the dad's like, "Oh, Cynthia, you got to be careful, girl." And then like lets her run across. Like, I'm like, dude, like if that was me, like maybe I was a little brash with my children, but I taught them right and wrong. Like that's the problem. Like, I don't like. There's a big discrepancy with how we were raised and how people raise their children now. It's like, I'm not saying that you should spank the shit out of your kids, but
I am.
well,
But yeah,
I
okay,
I
go
was
ahead.
raised with that, and I'm not opposed to it, but I will say, like, yeah, it's okay to be their friend, but you have to draw the fucking line. Like, you have to be a parent. That's your job. And there's so many kids. Like look at the TV screen. Like, and I know I'm going on a rant. Sorry, Will, I'm overtaking your topic, but it goes so much deeper than just like what you're talking about as like a family walking through the airport. Like, how many times you go out to dinner and you see the kid, they can't be more than like 2 minutes without a fucking phone or a tablet in front of their face. It's like, how is that any way to live? You can't even go
Right.
out in public without having a tablet fully charged, or they throw a fucking fit. Like, it's bananas what it is now. It
Dad would,
is.
Dad would whip
Be-
our ass.
Yeah.
Being their friends comes when they're fucking 25, not when they're 4, right? Like there's a time to be their friend when they're a grown ass adult. When they're being kids, you got to treat them like kids.
You got to be their parent first. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Like I see their, this kid running, going the opposite way on the escalator, running up there, and there's some poor dudes walking down, going, "What the fuck is this kid doing?"
Right.
And then they're like, "Oh, hey, get off there! You're gonna trip some." Like, no shit, you're gonna trip somebody. Like,
It's
and-
honestly, it's just complacency. Like, the people are so complacent these days. Like, they think they're the only one, and
yeah. Well, it's
like
just fine if you think you're the only one, but if you think your kids are acceptable to be mayheming around the fucking wherever you are, that's the issue. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. It's different. It's a different world we're living in. Like, I'm thankful that my kids, turned out pretty good. I worry they're might be as bad with money as I am, which getting that trait, fuck. But no,
Maybe
I look at how
they'll-
they turned out, and I'm happy as hell. I mean, I feel like they're good kids deep down to the core, and that's all you could ask for. But yeah, no, it's
Well,
crazy,
hey,
man.
As long as if their issues like their mismanagement of money just affect them, like that's fine. Like, you know what I mean? Like, as long as your shit that like you got to deal with negatively affects yourself, that's one thing. But like if you raise kids that are like disrupting everybody around them and little hellions that like are making everybody's life miserable, that's a general failure of a parent.
Yeah, like, I mean, there's kids, like my kids have had friends. There's kids out there that will be like, "Fuck you, Mr. Smith," and I'll be like, "Fuck you back."
Yeah.
I'm like, if we ever got caught talking like that or cussing around, like my friends that I've known since elementary school, like if we were ever caught cussing around their parents or anything like that, oh man,
yeah.
we would get our ass whooped. Like, you respected your elders. Yeah, it's just a whole. I mean, we can go down a hour-long rabbit hole with that one, but no, I'm glad you brought that up because it is. Like I said before, I think it's just complacency. Nobody cares about anybody but themselves, and it's being passed down to the next generation, and it's unfortunate. But,
Parents are
yeah.
just too soft these days.
Yeah.
What do you think, Daniel? I
Yeah.
feel like Daniel is just one of those fucking kids, and his parents are like,
What do you mean?
How old are
You
it's all right.
How old are you?
you do know
Daniel?
that I come from an Asian background, right? So like,
I
there are a
do.
lot
They're pretty-
stricter
Your parents were
parenting.
probably harder on you than
Yeah.
You're right. And they beat you for Jesus, so that was a little bit different, right? Like,
Yeah,
that was
yeah.
on behalf of Jesus.
I'd
gonna
also say
say,
that like growing up, I didn't get like grounded. Like nowadays, I think parents like ground their kids, which I don't know how effective that is as a form of like punishment or
No.
teaching. But like, I didn't get that. I got ass whoopings, and so
Yeah.
like I very quickly found out like what was wrong, what was right, versus like, oh, you go to your room and then you go think about it, and that's gonna take a while before you realize like this is stupid. Like what I did was stupid. You're just gonna sit there and be angry about it, but you're not gonna
Right.
learn like why it was wrong.
Yeah.
That's true.
No, you're
Yeah.
absolutely right. Like we went to our rooms, like you say, not to be grounded, but to lay down and cry because our ass hurt so fucking bad we couldn't sit down. Like
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
were thankful
Yeah.
when Dad was still at work, and it was Mom that gave us the spank. Cause we're like, oh yeah, we could survive this one. We're good.
Well, and if she thought it was too soft, she would just wait for Dad to get home.
Yeah,
and
or
he'd
she'd
whip
give them
her
to
ass
us and be like,
anyway,
ha ha,
so.
screw you guys. And then all of a sudden Dad come home, we're like, fuck, here we go again. But yeah.
Yeah. That's what being put in your room was. You got your ass beat, and then you got put in your room so nobody would hear your fucking whimpers.
And
I'll
then you're
tell
like,
you
maybe I shouldn't do that shit again.
I gotta since we're on that topic, I gotta tell this one. This one's actually pretty funny. So I can't remember what we did, but there was a time where I think it might have been breaking the window. There was a time where me, Jared, and my sister we got our asses fucking handed to us, and we all I ran off after two pounding, so I got pretty easy. I was kind of laughing on my way to the room, and then they got a hold of Jared, and I was like, I felt so bad. He's such a little kid, and so
I was the one that
anyways,
broke the window.
yeah, and so this was back. This was back. Like there was no email. There's nothing like that. And so, it just so happens like 4 or 5 days later, my mom gets a letter in the mail or something, and it's like you need to come into the federal government office or something like that. And she was in tears. She's like, "I'm so sorry if you guys turned me into CPS." Like she thought it was CPS. It turned out they had like something with their taxes or something. But it was like, oh my god. She was like, "I'll never hit you guys again." And we're like, "Yeah, right on." Like this is great. And then she's like, if you guys called him, please just let me know. And everybody's like, no. And then I'm like, ask my sister. I'm like, did you rat Mom out? No, I didn't. So, yeah, it was awesome though. Like she was, oh man, I felt so bad after that. Yeah.
Did you go to
was-
school and tell your teachers? No.
Yeah, that's what she thought happened.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. So, anyways, yeah.
I didn't have enough balls to tell the teacher what happened because I knew what would
No.
be coming for me after school. So
And it was all right. I mean, yeah, it hurt for like 20, 30 minutes and then it was done. Like, yeah. But you didn't, you didn't want to mess up. Like, but anyways, so what's the other one? What's the other quickie?
Oh, are we still on me?
Yeah, we're on you.
Okay, let me just give my my daily relation quarrel here. So I just want to get some opinions. So maybe this is something I know. This is something that kind of stuck out to me is like kind of being with this type of person. And I don't know if you guys maybe have stories from the same thing, but I was reading and it kind of struck out. So this is a 44-year-old dude talking about his 40-year-old female partner. So he says they've been together for 5 years and she's always done this, but I blew it off because I know she just struggles with insecurity and has had a rough childhood. She grew up in extremely well off, but in a volatile parent. But now it's just causing problems almost everywhere we go. For example, we were at a bar having what I thought was a great time. Suddenly she gets extremely upset at me for not defending her honor. I'm confused, so I ask what she means. Apparently she perceived that the woman next to us was glaring at her, and she wanted me to stand up to her and call her out for it. I had no idea this was even true. Things like this happen all the time. It's like she scans the crowd and waits for someone to do something she perceives as against her, and then wants me to defend her honor. It's always stupid stuff that usually has an innocent explanation. She has even done it with my friends and family before too, even blowing at them a few times over misunderstandings. She doesn't know how to apologize or take accountability. She just says it's their fault for setting her off. Like someone accidentally bumping into her, or we'll have a perfectly pleasant interaction and she'll swear up and down they were secretly being bitches. She tells me I need to live in the real world and stop assuming positive intentions. I'm exhausted. She has this thing about loyalty. She's obsessed with flashy shows of loyalty, and I feel like she's constantly testing me. How do I get her to understand that not everyone is out to get her?
You can't. You just need to fucking run. Run away from that. Run away from that bitch.
Okay, Will, here's what I want you to do. Okay, I really want you to try harder with these relationship questions. Like, you got to stop giving us questions that are so fucking one-sided. I mean, the bitch is obviously crazy. I mean, I'm crazy too, so I can talk about it. Like, yeah, she is certified crazy. I mean, you got to give us like relationship where like we actually are like on one side or the other. I mean, yeah, this bitch just isn't gonna learn, man. Like, you gotta just, that's it. That's it. You gotta unalive her. I mean, you gotta end it.
Whoa.
You gotta,
Whoa,
you
whoa,
gotta
whoa.
you gotta break up. No, I'm just that was a joke, obviously. Like, yeah, you know.
So you said he was 44 and she's 40?
He was 44, yeah. So these are grown-ass
So-
people.
Yeah.
I mean, we
She's
know
acting like
people
a
like
fucking
that. I'm not
teenager,
gonna mention
you know?
names, but like there's some people that we know that like fly off the handle and like you know,
Yeah.
everybody's out to get them and conspiracy and stuff and like, yeah, I mean, if dude, like, it just sounds like she's the problem. Like, I mean, if if there was like a real situation like where it wasn't her fault and like he didn't stand up for her, then yeah, I could side with her on
So-
that. But I mean,
So here's the deal is, and this is kind of similar to it. I mean, it's the same as saying like, you know, when like a woman is with like an abusive dude or whatever. It's the same as being like why don't you just fucking leave him, right? Like, it's some people need to hear these things to like they need to get it out there. They need to hear it to even put themselves in that position.
Right.
Like,
I think on this one though, I think the guy's just trying to fucking like, to me that just sounds, I don't know.
well, I mean, and that's what I'm saying is like they've been together 5 years, like
That's a long
clear.
time just to throw something away. But
It is, and it's probably that sunken cost fallacy, right? Like, you've been in there 5 years. The dude clearly like is. You're right. Like we can all see it. We can all see her clear as day from the outside looking in. As where this dude is probably still in the like, can I fix this stage? Like can I just let her know that like you know what I mean? Like he seems like he wants to find a way to tell her that hey, everybody's not out to get you, and that it's not like this. When
well, I mean, yeah, but I mean that's 5 years that he's
Yeah.
had to try to change her, and if she's not changing, then she's not gonna fucking change. So
Well, and here's the problem: you're not gonna change her. Like, if that's who she is. Like,
that's who she is. Yeah.
at 40 years old,
so
Yeah.
She's been doing that her whole life, I'm sure. So
oh, 100%.
But I
But yeah,
think the question is then, like, for people like that, like, there's tons of people like that in the world. Do we just leave them to their own devices and just like, hey, you're useless to the rest of the society. Let's just outcast you and not let you, like, let's not, like, socialize with you anymore. Or, I don't know. To me, it feels like
Oh no,
this is
like
like
she sounds like
there's
a
some
girl I
serious
would like to hang out
mental
with.
illness or something. Like, it's like schizophrenia, right? Like, those people think someone's always out to get them. And so, is that
Yes.
like something? Is that something worth mentioning? That like, hey, you should probably see a professional.
it sounds
Mental health.
It sounds more. It sounds more like narcissism, honestly. But you're right. Like, with narcissism is, I mean, it is a diagnosable disease, and you're right. Like, but that's the problem with narcissism is literally by definition, narcissists can't take responsibility for their own actions. So trying to get someone with narcissism to like seek help is an uphill battle just because of that. But you're right. Like she like this is clearly like a mental illness. Like it's to the
Yeah.
point of
Yeah.
a mental illness, and this poor guy's kind of just being drugged through the ringer, trying to ride it out.
Yeah, and I think Daniel, like to answer your question directly, is I wouldn't say like you know cross them out of society. Like, we're talking about in a relationship. Like, if I was in a relationship with her, we wouldn't be. Now, if I had a friend who acted like that, like we all have friends that we don't agree with exactly how they act. I mean, all the time, right? I mean, and so like, it's one thing to be friends with somebody and like just know how they are, but to be in a full-on relationship and live with somebody, like that's kind of what I'm saying. Like, So I'm not
Yeah.
saying like cast them out of society,
Sure.
but just relationship wise, go find somebody different. Like,
There's probably
Okay. Well,
somebody
then,
out there for her. Yeah.
from a relationship perspective, as all of you men are known for your tact and sensitivity, how
yeah,
would you go about like talking to your wife or whoever your partner and like suggesting that they should seek help or whatever?
Okay. No, I mean that's the wrong question, right? As someone who's been in kind of a relation like that was married to someone like this, not currently, but in a previous life, you is and that's why I kind of brought this up is because like I was kind of with someone like just for an example, like she was coming to like pick me up for I forgot she was coming home for someone to pick me up or grab me for something. She got pulled over for speeding and like blamed me, like it was my fault she had got the ticket for speeding because she was coming to go pick me up somewhere. And it's like just that level of like being unable to take responsibility. And it's like it's not like she was race like it wasn't like I needed to be picked up. It was just like she
Right.
was on her way to get me, and like everything was just never her fault. And
So
so
would you say that kind of like drove a wedge between you guys then? That kind of behavior,
well, there's
or
a whole nother side to this story,
right?
right? Is where like the fact that this dude has been dealing with this for five
Right.
years like leads me to believe that she might be like uh bipolar, which is kind of something I dealt with, or BP, even
Right.
BPD possibly, which are these people will have really extremely highs where they're just like the nicest, sweetest person, right? And like you know when they screw up or whatever, and it gets to the point where it's like you're leaving them, all of a sudden they'll do something called love bombing, which is like totally flip the switch and say they're so sorry they're gonna change and like do all this stuff, and it's kind of a it's kind of a common thing in these situations. And so you'll go back and forth, right? Like they'll claim they're changed, they're so sorry, they're never going to do this again, and then they'll just dip into this bold behavior. And like just from experience, it's easy to get sucked into that because like
Right.
we talked about in the beginning, like that sunk cost fallacy, like for me, I had been with this person, on and off for like way over 10 years. And I finally married this person. It's like, you don't want to admit to yourself, like you fucked up and you made it. So
Right.
you keep trying to make it work, even though you shouldn't. Right. And so, like I said, like I think he's telling half of the story. The fact that he's still with her after 5 years leads me to believe that like she's not like this all the time, and maybe the rest of the time, she's kind of playing catch up to being the greatest girlfriend or whatever.
Maybe he's just as fucked up as she is.
Maybe he is too. That's true as well. So, anyways, yeah.
So you said my question was the wrong question. Are you saying then that like you should focus on yourself and like leave her and then let her like figure that out by herself, or like learn from her consequences and
you
then
can't
seek?
you can't fix people, and if you
Sure.
generally, I mean, you can try, I mean, you can, that's what I'm saying is you can offer them the help, you can point them in the direction, but if they're unwilling to accept that help, you know what I mean, like you can give them ultimatums, but with ultimatums you have to stick to those, right? You say, hey, like I'm miserable, here's what needs to change if you want to continue this relationship with me. And if they're unable to do that, you need to have the ability to say sayonara, like that's it, right?
Right.
And that's the thing with ultimatums is people make them, and then people blow by them, and they're like, oh
They don't
well,
keep
like
them.
yeah, exactly. So yes, like I mean I think everybody has a chance. Everybody deserves a chance to be told, hey, like what you're doing is really destructive to yourself, me, and a relationship. But generally, the people like this are not the kind of people that are like gonna willingly go and get the help they need. But
Right.
if they are, then yeah, absolutely give them a chance. Like I'm not saying that, but it's not a high percentage.
Right.
It's a long pause. Anybody?
I thought you had something else.
It's perfect. Perfect segue. All right, that's it, guys. No, yeah. So I guess we'll talk. You know, speaking of controversies out at the dinner table. So as some of you may know, we talked about me ending up in the hospital back in December, January, and them doing some testing on me in the hospital to know that I have sleep apnea. So they had me do a follow-up, and when I talked to this doctor, who I won't mention his name, it's really not his problem. He assured me that now I've been on a machine, I've been on a ventilator, not a CPAP or BiPAP, but I've been on a ventilator with oxygen for the last 3 or 4 months, 4 months, 3.5 months. And so, anyways, so I talked to the specialist, the sleep study specialist, and he's like, okay, you're gonna go in, and you're gonna do a sleep study test, and instead of doing the actual sleep study, they're gonna mess around and get you dialed in so that you know the machine is working just how you need it. We're essentially gonna make sure that you're getting the best sleep you can. He said you've never slept as good as what you will after this appointment. I'm like, oh, fuck yeah, this is amazing. You know, you always got to beware when something sounds too good to be true. So I go into this appointment, right? And I've waited like 2 months for this appointment for the sleep study. And I'm like, oh, this is it. Sunday. It was this past Sunday. I was like, Sunday's going to be a nice night. I'm going to sleep so well. So I go in. I go in at 8 o'clock at night on a Sunday night. And the lady's like, okay, you're room number 5. Go ahead and, you know, get your whatever. And I'm like, well, I'm already in my, I had just wore my jersey shorts and whatever and shirt. So I was like, I'm ready. And she's like, oh, okay, I'll be in a minute. And so they come in. She's hooking up like, I think she said 96 fucking wires or some shit. Like, I mean, I went and took a piss and I looked in the mirror and I'm like, Jesus Christ, I look like a movie fucking villain or something. Like cords hanging off my head. And so I come in and I'm sitting down on the bed and I'm like, where's the mask? And she's like, what do you mean? And I'm like, where's my mask so I can like sleep tonight? And she's like, oh no, you're doing the full on sleep study. And I'm like, no, I'm like, I didn't take tomorrow off work. I can't go like a whole night without sleep. And she's like, you have to do it or your insurance is not going to cover it. I'm like, that's not what we talked about. And she's like, you got to do it. And if you leave, you got to pay $12,000 because the insurance is not going to cover it. I'm like, fuck you. I'm so mad. Like I didn't say fuck you, but I'm thinking it, right? I'm pissed at this point. So now I'm riled up. It's 9 o'clock at night, 9:30. And she's like, okay, good night. And I'm like, yeah. So I'm like laying there and I'm staring at these fucking infrared cameras. I feel like, and then she gets on the microphone. She's like, Mr. Smith, you need to fall asleep. Like, oh yeah, that's going to fucking help. Like, like, thanks for pointing out the obvious there, Sherlock Holmes. Like, so I'm laying there and it sounds like, it feels like I'm in Resident Evil, right? Like I'm in this room.
In the fucking lab.
Yeah, I'm in this lab, cords strung all over my face and head and body. And so I toss and turn and I'm looking at my watch and I'm like, and I wasn't allowed to look at my phone because it'll mess with the data, like whatever. So I'm sitting there, I'm looking at my watch and it's like 10 o'clock, 10:30, 11 o'clock, midnight, 12:30, 1. And all I could think about the whole fucking time is I can't sleep. I got to work tomorrow. I got to get up in the morning. So finally, so about midnight, I hit the nurse button. Some guy comes in. I don't even know who the fuck this guy is. And he's like, yeah, how can I help you? I'm like, I need to use the bathroom. He's like, okay. So he unhooks me, whatever. And I go in and I come back and I'm like, dude, I need a machine, man. I was like, we already went through this. I need a machine to sleep. And he's like, oh, don't worry. We're close to getting the results. And I'm like, how can you get results if I haven't even slept yet? And he's like, oh, you've been sleeping. And I'm like, the fuck I have. Like, sorry if I'm saying the F-bomb too much, but I mean, like, I am literally pissed. So 3 o'clock in the morning, she finally comes in and she goes, boy, you're stubborn. And I'm like, what do you mean? Like, I'm almost in tears. My stomach hurts. You know those times where like you feel really sleep deprived, almost to the point where like you don't even feel like you can get out of bed. Like, I mean, I literally had not slept at all. And she comes in, she's like, you were tough to get to sleep. We finally got it. You're approved for a machine. Let's get the mask on you."
Fuck.
And within seconds, dude, it was like a light switch. You put the mask on. It's like when they tell you to count down from 10 with anesthesiologists, like the anesthesiologist, and I'm like, boom, and I'm out. And I'm like, and she comes in. So this is at 3 a.m. She comes in at 6, and she's like, "I let you sleep an extra half an hour." And I wake up, and I mean, I am. This is by far the worst night of sleep that I've had in 3.5 months. And here's what really pisses me off is, you want to talk about a medical facility and the liability. How can they do that to somebody and then let them get right into a car? And I almost fell asleep like 5 times on the way home. And then I went to work. I was actually on time to work. I thought it'd be late, but yeah, I mean, I was so dog tired. Like, like these insurances, like, I know that they give you the runaround and like all this shit, but like, if a guy needs a machine, a guy needs a machine. Like, they should have just put me on the CPAP, see if it was enough. If it wasn't, moved up to a BiPAP, and then if it wasn't enough, put me on the machine that I'm on now. And that's all it should need. Like, I had already went through the test to determine that, yeah, I have got sleep apnea. I need a machine. So anyways, so that was my Sunday night.
But that's what that whole test is to determine whether to put you on a machine.
But you already went through all that test.
But they
you went through them. I mean,
they took.
That's
blood,
what I mean is
they took blood from my artery, arterious blood, and they had to do that, and that was supposedly sufficient enough. Is what the sleep study doctor told me. That was sufficient enough to determine like that my oxygen level was too low, that I needed this. So,
yeah.
What I if they would have told me I was doing the sleep test, I would have been prepared. What I'm more pissed about is that the whole thing, they lied about what was going on. Like like they had no fucking clue.
Because if they gave you the sleep study and they gave you all the oxygen and you slept like a baby, you wouldn't be approved for that. I mean, that's the problem, right? Is that like if they had given you everything you need to sleep like a baby, you wouldn't have been approved for the CPAP.
No, I'm not debating that. What I'm debating is, why did the doctor tell me? Why didn't the doctor just tell me what I was in for? Like, it would have been, at least I would have went into it knowing. I would have probably taken Monday off, knowing that I was going to get a shitty night's sleep. But his words exactly were, "Oh, this would be the best night's sleep you've had yet." It's like, come on, man. So, no, I'm not necessarily.
What's his insurance thing, right? This is something the insurance requires to be able to give you that, right? Like, it sounds like an insurance thing.
Yeah, but here's the deal: the insurance already approved me at the hospital. The insurance had already approved me. Like, that was done.
So why did you have to do the sleep study
to see which machine I needed? They knew that I had sleep apnea. So like I said, they should have started me on the lowest one, which is a CPAP, moved me up to a BiPAP if that wasn't working enough, and then moved me up to the one I'm on now, which is a Vivo ventilator with a mask. But that is what I was told I was doing, was just because because my biggest thing was the one that I'm on now, it's a monthly payment and it's very expensive. CPAP, by the time the insurance covers it, you pretty much buy it, and so there's no monthly payment. And so I told him I want to be on as little as I need. I want to be on one that works, but not necessarily the most expensive. And so that's what this was about. Somewhere in translation, like, my insurance company never, like, I go onto my chart and I look, like, my insurance never said that I had to retest for sleep apnea. This was a follow-up appointment that I made, and then the doctor said, "We're going to send you to this sleep study to make sure that you have the right machine and that you're dialed in." So, yeah, like, the whole thing was never talked about doing another study or verifying insurance. So that's where I was so angry with it. But again, how can you have a guy sleep like 2 hours in a night and like be falling asleep and then, all right, go ahead and drive home? Like, at the minimum, I mean, it's no different than surgery. They should require you to have somebody pick you up. Although that would probably piss me off too. But so I just thought it was kind of weird. I don't know. But, yeah. So that was my Sunday.
They should at the very least let you know, hey, you're gonna I guess for them to say that you're gonna get the best night's sleep ever was the big problem there. If they could have been like, hey, we're gonna not hook you up to any machine, so you're gonna sleep like shit. So you might want to take the day off tomorrow.
They should have
Might have,
warned him. Yeah.
you know, might have been a different result.
Yeah, and I got two small ones. Just an update. My PSE. Thank you. After all my bitching I did about my electric bill, I'm on month 3 of free electricity. So big shout out to.
Oh, so it
Energy.
was them that fucked up?
No, but I somehow applied for a credit and they gave me $1,000. So the last 8
Oh.
months have been free. So I really can't complain. So by the way, not a sponsor, but if you want to be a sponsor, yeah, we'd take you.
I don't get PSE out here in North Dakota. So
Did we talk? I know we talked before the show. Did we talk about Mustafa yet?
No.
I talked to my boy Mustafa, our boy Mustafa. I told him that Claire took his spot, like before he even left the building. He's like, "Oh man," I'm like, "Mustafa, your seat was still fucking warm," and Claire was like moving all her shit over there. So he's still alive. He's doing well. He says he's gonna go to Vegas with us. So Daniel, just remember that.
He's going to Vegas?
He said,
Daniel's
yeah,
21.
he asked
Oh.
me to confirm the date again, so he says he's going.
where's Mustafa at right now?
I don't know. He won't tell me. He just
That
says
was my
he's-
question. Is
he
like,
just-
is he here? Like,
he
where
just
is
says-
he?
He just says he's taking
He's already
care
in
of stuff.
Vegas.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, he's probably
I don't
living
know.
in Vegas right now.
I don't know if he went back to Nebraska or
Oh.
if he's back in Africa, and that's not a racist statement. Just settle down, people. He really is from Africa. Yeah, I don't know if he's visiting family back there, or if he went. I know he worked in Nebraska for a while, but yeah, he said. I asked him if he's coming back to work for the company we work for, and he said it's a possibility still. So,
Oh.
and then
I'm
the
missing
other
a ton
one,
of updates about his life.
What's that?
I'm missing a ton of updates about his life. I don't know what happened at all.
You're not
I
subscribed?
don't either. He doesn't. He didn't tell anybody. He just literally quit and
He just up
said
and
he had
left.
to handle some stuff, and he left. Yeah.
Yeah,
All I know is
that's pretty much it.
I called him when he first left, and we said "I love you" like 20 times. It was a great conversation.
So did you
I miss
actually
him.
call and talk to him, or did you just like text each other?
No, I called him. I figured out to
Oh.
see how he's doing. I didn't know if he would answer. I thought maybe he like moved on, but no, he answered right away. Yeah.
Nice.
So that was good, but so let's talk about this whole orbiting the moon thing. So here's where I'm going to go with this, okay? And then you guys can respond. So you're telling me that back in what, 79? When was the moon landing? 78, 79, something like that, 77? So you're telling me that in what is that, about 50 years? 50 years. And let's keep in mind that whenever there's like any type of race, that somebody always tries to outdo the other, right? So look at history, whatever it is, whether it's sports, whether it's war, whatever. Somebody's always trying to up somebody else. And you're going to tell me that the space race, the U.S. landed on the moon and everybody said, that's it. Fuck it. Hats off. You guys did it. We're out. We're going to shut down all of our rockets. We're going to, we're going to let you guys win this one. We're not going to even try to walk on the moon. Then you look at like the Mars rover and even what was the one that landed on the moon rover, whatever the fuck they had a name for it. These things are catapulted down like with airbags, pretty much to like land and like roll and like beat the shit out of these things, and then all of a sudden they start rolling around. Like there's been no like technology where you see them like with their little air thing going pss, 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 and landing like really controlled on the moon. And now,
Well, wait, are you talking about Mars or the moon?
I'm
Because you
talking
just
about
said the
moon.
Mars
I'm
rover.
but I'm talking
Okay.
about how they landed it. So they landed both rovers like not like you wouldn't land humans.
I don't think
way,
that
is
was
what
a
I'm
rover
saying.
that they landed on the moon, but yeah, okay.
Yeah, they did, but it wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't like you would. The way that they land, you wouldn't land humans that way. Like they would die. So I guess what I'm trying to say is, after all these years, technology is supposed to get better, and nobody's landed on the moon. And now we just had like our first trial orbit around the dark side of the moon. Uh, we we found that the entrance back into Earth like ripped away heat shields and like could have burned up the crew. And then the actual one, they were like, oh God, we hope it goes well. You're telling me with the technology that we have not been back on the moon, like I'm gonna stand here and I'm gonna say 100% fake. Like there's no way that we landed on the moon back then. 100%.
So are you saying like Neil Armstrong was never an astronaut and the whole thing was fake, or
He might have been an astronaut, but he didn't walk on no fucking moon. Like that's what I'm saying. Like I mean, there's no way. There's no way that nobody else has done it since then, and that we haven't even had technology to land a fucking dog on the moon. We haven't gotten a spacecraft down on the moon except, like I say, a rover that we slingshot towards the moon's
because we already did it. I mean, I just don't understand. Like, first of all, it's super risky. First of all, we lost the space race. We were not the first people in space. The Russians were. So
Russia was first.
Our answer to the space race was to be the first people on the moon, which is an incredibly risky endeavor. And so it makes sense. Like, if we'd done it before, we'd done the thing. Like, what is the point of sending people back to the moon just because it's not like a super interesting place? Like, we have Mars, we have other planets. Like, there's more interesting stuff to explore than the fucking dusty ass moon, right?
So
and we can go further now.
So what was the whole purpose of this mission? Just to go further than anybody else did?
I thought the Artemis wasn't about the moon. It was about a whole lot of other stuff.
It was about
right?
I think
nobody had.
Yeah, exactly.
I think it has to do with data collection, right? The first time we went up was to actually land a person on the moon, and now that we've done that,
that was the point. Sure.
Yeah, now that we've done that, there's no need for anyone to go up on the moon again. Of course, we didn't go up there
because it's risky for people, right?
Right. Yeah. And also because it's the whole space race thing, right? We wanted someone up there from America, from the States, to say that we won the space race, and now that we've done it, there's no point in going up again because there's no race going on. Now that we have the technology, we have the technology to go back up, but we don't have the technology to collect data that we need. And I think the point of them going up again was to collect data from the far side of the moon and see like what they need to build like a space colony on the moon.
That's crazy though. So you're telling me, okay, listen to you guys just made a point that makes no sense. You guys are telling me, so let's say the first person to ever win a marathon. Now that's grueling. People could fucking die. Like or even 100 mile, whatever fucking races there are. You're telling me that somebody's gonna run that race and they're gonna get done, and they're gonna go, hey, should we do this next year? No, we already had a winner. Like, no, that's not how egos work. Like, if we hit the moon, and China or Russia is working on hitting the moon, they want to be second. Like there was actually a cool Apple TV had a pretty interesting miniseries about like going up to the moon and then also taking on Mars, like trying to build like a livable, sustainable life. Like it was actually, but it was like the space race. If Russia would have, like Will said, yeah, they won the getting into space, but they didn't win landing on the moon. If Russia would have won landing on the moon, like how that would have evolved, and it lays it out pretty in depth. Like the way that we work, humans, we don't just say, oh, this person did that, that's great, we're gonna drop out. Like that's not the way things work. And if you're gonna tell me in 50 years, with the added technology from what we had back then, that nobody has made a safer way, a more secure way to know that we're gonna land. To make another moon landing, just to say like it's been done, there's no need to go back up. That's not how egos work. That's not how the world works. Like everybody wants to one up the next guy or match the next guy to say that they've done it. So you can't tell me in 50 years that everybody just dropped out because US won. And you could be right. I'm not saying you're wrong.
Whether people did or didn't drop out, so you're regardless, like, okay, if they didn't go to the moon, then why would they go to the moon in the last 50 years?
Yeah, why wouldn't the U.S. go back? Why wouldn't the U.S. go, we did it once.
So you're saying, are you saying you don't think they can go back?
I don't think they can. I don't think they have the technology. I
You
don't
still
think
don't
I don't
they
think
have
they ever
technology.
have the technology, and I think that it's you know, and I don't get a lot into this conspiracy stuff like the flat earther bullshit. Like there's limits to what I'll, but this one is like, it is so hard to believe that they just stopped the race. Like everybody stopped what they were doing. It was such a massive thing back then. Like, you know, when you see documentaries about it, it was massive. Like everybody in the world was watching their TVs, like because it was Russia against U.S. And to say that it just stopped, like I don't think they had the technology back then, and I don't think they have the technology now today.
Where, well, that's fine. You can have that opinion, even though you have no backing for the opinion. But like, you want to sit here and talk about ego? Like, yeah, ego is if somebody does something, you don't sit there and be like, "Oh, well, I did it too." That's the whole point of ego. And when you want to use like a race, you want to use in a race as an example. People don't go back to just win the race the next time. They go back to beat the time because each time there is something else to improve on, right? Like you can still, even if you don't win the race or lose one year, you can go back and beat the time of the last year. So there's always something to improve on. Going to the moon, it's a one-shot thing.
Yeah, but
Well, Russia.
And it's super expensive. So like for them to be able to pull the funds to do something they've already done is, especially when like NASA has funding is kind of hit or miss. Like it's not as easy as just like them grabbing onto a bunch of money because ultimately nobody wants. NASA gets funded by the federal government, right? And it's like, oh, hey, we want a bunch of funding to go back to the moon. And people are like, why do you want to go back to the fucking moon? We already went there. Well, we still want, this many $1 billion to do it. Like that's the problem is the funding. And
see
it's hard to get
that
funding
still
for
makes
stuff you've already done.
like that makes no sense. Like you just said
Well, it
that
doesn't have to make sense.
You said that I have no.
But if that's
basis,
your logic
that
against
is,
it being bullshit,
no,
that's
but
bullshit.
But you said my opinion has no basis. Yours has no basis whatsoever. Like you are literally going against all grain of how the human mind works. Like to say that there's no animosity or no wanting to one up somebody or no getting funding. Like, are you kidding me? Like the government throws funding at bullshit all the time. Like if we felt like we could go back to the moon and put a buggy on the moon and drive on the moon or whatever to one up what we've done before, we're gonna do it. Like that's
would
how
think.
that's how it works. But so you could say there's no basis to mine, but there's no basis to yours either. Like what? Like I am
Yep.
saying that the way the mind works, the way that we work,
You're
is,
judging the moon landing based on the way the mind works.
yeah, the way the competitive edge works. Yes, in everything that is real life. Like I mean,
Okay.
so to say in 50 years that nobody's even attempted now, like if like China attempted it and wasn't successful, or Russia, then I could say okay, well they tried, but like I don't think the technology is there, or somebody would have done it. Like I don't care what you say about funding, like they would have got funding. The funding would be easy if we're like, yeah, we're gonna put another moonwalk. People would be like, oh yeah, that'll rally the whatever. Like people
It wouldn't
do
though
things
because
just
it
to do
already
it.
happened. It wouldn't rally anybody. It already happened.
If it's a feat that nobody has done since then it'd be worth doing it again. That's all I'm saying. It would rally people. It'd have a whole world watching just like it did before, and nobody's attempted it. So I don't know. We can agree to disagree, but I in my eyes, it never happened.
Jared, Daniel, any other opinions?
So, I mean, are you saying this last mission, did they actually orbit the moon, or did they just go up in space and hang out for 10 days and come back?
What's that? No, I think they orbited the moon.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm just saying I don't think we've landed on the moon. I think we've done a lot of
Right.
space activities. I think we've sent rockets up and down, and I'm not even saying that they didn't send a rocket up there, but did we actually land on the moon?
right.
I don't know. I don't.
So
Yeah,
so you
and I
think
go ahead.
you think that what happened in the 70s is all faked, and that what happened just this past week, we faked technology that we're like 40 years behind on.
No, I think that we have sent. I think we've sent spacecraft into space. We have whatever, sent out the Mars rover. I think that we've done a lot of missions. Like we've obviously put satellites up there, but I'm just saying that I mean, look at the satellites and look at everything. Like this, the space race still continues between all these countries. Like everybody has massive, amounts of satellites and people going up to space, whatever, and back. I'm not saying that we haven't been to space. I'm saying the technology is there. Like, I think all that it's obviously true. I mean, we've got, there's plenty to prove that. But I'm saying, if you're gonna tell me that some photos and some videos of guys landing on a moon that's never done before, like I don't.
I can see
buy
what
it.
you're saying. Like now, I mean, it's NASA that's telling us that they
Yeah,
landed
like,
on the moon, and
If we just now have the technology to slingshot around the moon, like, so you're telling me that we have that technology now, but back then we had enough technology to not only get around the moon, but to land on the moon. Like, then why are we just slingshotting around the moon now? Like, it's just, progression doesn't just take 50 years to go. Like, I don't know. That's what I'm saying. So, I mean, you look at how things progress, computers, TVs, cell phones, phones originally, there's a slow progression. It's like, yeah, we just went from walking on the moon to like, oh yeah, I don't know. It just doesn't make sense. There's just not, I just don't buy it.
So do you think we have the technology now to land on the moon too, or do you still think we don't have it because we just slingshot it around instead of landing on it again?
I would hope that we're close. I don't know. I mean, we've been putting people in space for how long? I would hope that we're close, but
yeah.
But so you
Until we
still don't
actually
think
see
we
it.
have the technology to actually land someone
Don't
on
you
the
think
moon
we
then?
would? Don't you think we'd do it now if we could do it and we hadn't done it?
yeah, that exactly. Yeah, so I agree. Yeah, I don't think
That is
we
an
must not have
interesting
the technology.
perspective. For sure.
So, but I think the people that say that we just stop because we just stop, that's how we work. That's not how we work. I don't care who you are.
That is how we work.
When you're working
People
out,
don't.
When you're working out, you don't just stop your next fucking your next
It's not working out.
chest day because you're like
It's billions in funding and the space race had the whole fucking American population behind it. Like everybody was watching on their TV. Everybody was doing all that. Russians went to space. We landed on the moon, and then all of a sudden, nobody gave a shit anymore. So yeah, that just is how it works. When
You don't
something's
think
been
with all
done,
the naysayers that if they came out and said that they're going to land on the moon again and they're going to walk with 4K video, that people wouldn't be like, oh my god, we got to see this. Like I said, the whole world would.
well,
back.
they probably don't give a shit about appeasing the naysayers. I mean, if you know you did something,
your
like-
statement was that we can't get funding because we can't.
Yeah,
get
because
backing.
it's super expensive to do something we've already done. Like to get a person on the moon. Like they'll send crafts to the moon. Yeah, but what's the point of sending a person there when there's so much more higher risk and cost than sending like a rover or something to the moon?
Send a rover that somebody can drive around.
Yeah,
Be the first one to drive on the moon.
sure.
Yeah. But obviously they don't have the technology to do that.
Clearly.
Or the
So
funding.
was
I
it-
guess.
Was it Elon's engines that powered the spacecraft, right? That went up?
Artemis?
Yeah,
I don't
Artemis.
know.
Oh,
Are him and NASA working together? I don't think they would.
SpaceX or
I
whatever?
thought SpaceX
SpaceX,
was totally
yeah.
separate.
Oh,
All right, we're at an hour and 3 minutes. You want to squeeze one more topic in, Joey?
Yeah. So we all agree that the moon landing was fake. That's what I was trying to get across.
Totally.
Yeah. Let's talk about. I don't know. I got. I was thinking the other day, with all this war stuff going on, and they've raised the draft to 42, and like, I don't know. I for some reason, my mind works funny sometimes, and I was just thinking, like, wouldn't that be fucking nuts if like superheroes were real, and like we had like an actual draft for like like baseball or football, they have like drafts, like Russia's on the clock, and they're like, we take Thor, and then the U.S. is up, and they're like, we take
Captain
Wolverine.
America.
So do you think that, are you saying like the military draft is like a sports draft?
Yeah, wouldn't that be like?
Okay.
Wouldn't that be crazy? But no, like these are like legitimate superheroes. Like everybody's taking their turn. Like, and then like you get down to like Ant-Man, and you're like, fuck. All right, I guess China's got to take Ant-Man. You know, like yeah, it'd be fucking awesome. Like, and that's
So
how
that's
you
where
build
you
your
said it-
powerhouse.
You said Wolverine. Like, would he be like the #1 pick overall?
Probably not, because he can't fly. You would probably take like Iron Man and Thor, right? Like, I
Right.
mean,
Wait, are we doing Marvel or DC? Like, wait, is Superman here?
This is all. I mean,
Oh, well, fuck Superman.
I'm even willing to throw like Legolas in out of fucking Lord of the Rings. I mean,
Legolas is
you and
gonna
your
be the
fucking
bottom
Legolas.
fucking pole. Yeah.
Oh, he
can
does
shoot
shoot
arrows
arrows.
at people.
he can shoot 3 arrows at a time and hit 3 different targets. Like,
Fuck, I take Hulk smash before I take Legolas.
yeah, Hulk. I feel like Hulk would probably go to Russia. Like, that would be their #1 pick. They're like, yeah, let's get this motherfucker. But yeah, I mean, yeah, I was just thinking about that. Like, could you imagine like an actual draft with like superheroes? Like, that'd be awesome.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, Legolas is gonna be back there with fucking Batman, man. I'm sorry, but like,
Whoa, Batman.
It's a-
What the fuck? Batman's kind
I
of
don't know,
than
man.
Legolas.
Batman's
I
rich.
don't know.
He could
he's
supply
rich,
weapons.
but like, does he have any real superpowers? Like he's got a fancy ass suit. Same with Iron Man. But like Superman, like dude can fly, dude can stop trains, dude can like throw people out of the universe. Like I'm just saying, like we're based solely on superpowers here.
Could you imagine like what would they say, like, you know, like they're like, okay, North Korea's on the clock, and then they're like, we'll take Wonder Woman. Like, Wonder Woman's got to be like, what the fuck, man? Like, how did I end up with this straw? Like, you know,
Captain America. They'd have to change their colors.
yeah, Captain America goes to Iran. He's like, this doesn't feel right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I will say though, like, I know we'll wrap this up, but I do want to say, like, the reason why I felt like bringing that up is, it's kind of a, you know, we won't get too much into politics, but I do want to say that it sounds like, it's a couple of fucking children going back and forth between Trump and Iran, and it doesn't sound like this is stopping anytime soon. And so I will say that Will was ex-military, and my kids' mom was ex-military and was in Iraq. And, you know, so I obviously don't know firsthand what it's like to be shipped overseas, but I do know as a spouse how troubling and hard that is. And I do want to say, like, all the military personnel that's being sent over and all the families at home that are not able to communicate with their loved ones, like, it's tough, and it sounds like more troops are going over, and I think I can speak for us all when I just say we hope that there's an end soon, and that your loved ones come back home safe. So
Okay. I agree with that.
yeah. So next episode, I think we'll
Maybe we'll have a brand name by then.
yeah, I think we'll have a brand name. I think we're going to talk about the moon landing again.
The moon landing
Claire
that
will
never
be on next
happened.
week, so I think we get Claire in the
Okay.
middle of this one.
I appreciate having Daniel on my moon landing conversation. It's nice to have like one person that went to fucking college here. So like,
Yeah,
Honestly,
and
I think it happened.
there's nothing better than making factual statements in my head that I know are not factual. So yeah, thank you for listening to me, even though it sounded like gibberish. Daniel, did I sway you to my side, or
I mean, I see your point, but
thank you? That's what I was looking for. That means a lot.
I see your point too, but I still think we landed.
I would need some.
Yeah.
I would need some. I would need some like I would need some actual like evidence, right? And not just
Yeah.
like, well, why would we have done that? Or like, I would need more just like, well, that's not how people work and blah blah.
But it's
Like,
like
I would
Google.
need so much evidence.
It's like Google. Like, if I say it, it's got to be true.
There's a lot of
Oh.
people who think that way.
Yeah. So
It's TikTok.
Anyway.
It's gotta be true.
Anyway, stay tuned next time for we'll reveal our new brand, and yeah, everybody, thanks for showing up.
Thanks
And
for having me.
minute 10 minutes. Good job, guys. We're whittling this thing down.
Let's announce
Oh.
this. Let's announce this. We didn't announce this in the beginning.
Okay.
So one of our things that we discussed over the last couple of weeks, it was just a couple days ago. Jared will be on full time now. He's going to be like the third amigo on this. Sorry if you take that as a racist comment. I just, he's going to help us out to make the conversation go. And then when we can't have a special guest because Daniel's demanding too much money, at least we'll have a third person on all the time.
Your check's in the mail, Daniel.
Yeah.
It's probably not good, but it's in the
Is it
mail.
another birthday present?
No, not well.
No, you don't
it's not
get
your
birthday
birthday.
presents.
Yeah, it's not your birthday, but your check's in the mail.
value-wise, okay.
If UPS lost it, we take no liability for that.
Oh, okay.
Go
So
ahead
it's
and
not
comment.
it's not FOB.
It might be dated for next year, but it's in there.
Oh,
It's in the mail. Yeah.
gotcha.
Go ahead and comment. If anybody does watch this, comment and let us know what you think our name should be. Like even if it's telling us to stop doing what we're doing. I don't, just whatever. Just comment.
Your
let
name
us
should
know.
be "Shut the hell up." Yeah.
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 Comment, like, subscribe, and maybe next year we'll have some, or next week I'll have some more non-intelligent stuff to say. So.
Yeah.